Hey guys, Cobra DVS here, and this is a pickups video I've kind of been wanting to do for a long time, but I just got the final piece of the puzzle today, so I had to wait till today. I'm not even exaggerating when I say this is probably the best pickups video I've ever done, and if I can ever top it, I'll be surprised. If some of you might remember, a few months ago, I think back in like September or something, I had that most epic unboxing ever, almost, or possibly the most epic unboxing. That probably beats what I have here, but not by much, and that was just the sheer quantity and the quality. This isn't a ton of stuff, but the quality is through the roof. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started, and we'll start with the I'll start with the most current, actually. I got a 3DS game. I went ahead and picked up Resident Evil Revelations. Now, I didn't really plan on getting this. I'm not much of a fan of Resident Evil. I don't dislike it or anything, but I just am not a big fan. But I heard about the misprint label of this game, and I thought, you know, if they have it, I probably should get it because it's been getting good reviews and it could be collectible in the future. So I did get it. And they did have the misprint. I'm not sure if you can see that, but Revelations is spelled wrong. You can see the I is before the T instead of after. So maybe one day this will be collectible, and it already is, I'm guessing. But that's something cool. And the game's pretty good too. It's not a bad game at all. Alright, so let's go ahead and start with the NES stuff. I got some pretty cool stuff. I actually have 2 games for trade, or sale, whatever. And I'll save those for last. But I actually picked up 2 rather uncommon NES games that, one of them, this one here, people probably wouldn't even know that it's uncommon. It's the Terminator on the NES. It is uncommon. It's not rare or anything like that, but it is rather uncommon, and my local place had it for $3. I assume they didn't know that it was rather uncommon. So I went ahead and got it. I haven't played it. I really don't plan on it because I know the game blows. I've seen AVGN's video, so but it is cool to have. And then this one, also a terrible game, but sort of also uncommon. And this one was a 6, I think. But it's Mario is Missing. Terrible game, really just bad, not fun at all. But it is a collectible game. One thing I want you to notice: do you see the back of these, the labels? Look at this game. See how it's like that kind, and then this one. This one has a lot more text and a lot more smaller print. If you see a game that's kind of like, it has this sort of back, I'd recommend getting it. This doesn't apply for all games, but a lot of the time, games with that kind of print are sort of on the uncommon side, because they're later releases. So if you do see that, I'd say odds are it's sort of on the uncommon side. That doesn't mean it's going to be rare, although some of them are. But if you do see that, go ahead and I'd say pick it up for a fair price. So they also, they took in a big NES collection. Most of it's common stuff or stuff I can wait on. But I decided to get those 2, and they also had this. It's a little shelf. It's not made for Nintendo games, I don't think. It's not made by Nintendo by any stretch, but it holds NES cartridges very well. So this was only a couple bucks, so I thought, you know, what the heck, it'll serve as a shelf for NES games. So I could get it. So that's pretty cool. And that goes on the wall, actually. It's got holes for nails, so that'll be cool. This is actually, oh, my back hurts. This is actually another game I got at the local place, and it's Hogan's Alley. I have Hogan's Alley, and it's a pretty common game. The only reason I got it, though, another Famicom converter in this. It was $4, which is about standard for Hogan's Alley, and they didn't know it had the converter in it, so I got the Famicom converter. I already have one, so if somebody's interested in a Famicom converter, Hogan's Alley, the game's in good shape. You know, nothing wrong with it. I have opened it up. I've confirmed that it has the adapter in it, so if somebody's interested in this, I'd be willing to part with it since I already have one. So that's all my local stuff, actually. The Resident Evil, the NES, Hogan's Alley. The rest is online, but before I get to that, I actually do have another game for sale or trade. It's actually kind of a more uncommon game. I've said uncommon a lot this video, but it applies, I suppose. Miss Pac-Man. Yeah, this is the Namco version. This is now a double, because the package, or the thing you'll see in a second. So if somebody's interested in that, let me know. Again, look at the back. It's got that label. So I'm telling you, there's a little truth behind that small print label. God, that hurt. So anyway, this is an eBay package, and every now and then you'll get lucky on eBay, and somebody will mess up. They'll just mess up and list something for way lower than expected. I got pretty lucky and actually got that Miss Pac-Man game boxed. No manual. I still need the manual, but boxed for it was under $10. Usually this cartridge alone demands of over 15, around the 15 area. So to get it boxed for about $10, I mean the box isn't great. It was actually a little bit crushed, but I've been sort of working to uncrush it. Uncrush it by recrushing it is almost what I'm doing. I'm pushing it in from the sides like this with two things and making sure that it I'm doing it in moderation. So it is actually getting better. It is working. But yeah, so if anybody's interested in my other Miss Pac-Man, go ahead and let me know. So that's cool. This is a Genesis game that I've been wanting for a while. And again, somebody messed up on Amazon this time. They had it listed for $1.50 in very good shape. And one thing I don't like about Amazon is there's no pictures and there's hardly sometimes a description. So I messaged them and I said, does it have the original box or manual? They messaged me back, I think like a day or two later, and said it has the original box but no manual. The original box was really all I needed for $1.50, and I was going to get it. And it's actually a shoot 'em up that's kind of pricey. It's Truxton. This is one that's been on my list for a while. This, Lightning Force, and Thunder Force 3 have been on my want list for the Genesis for a very long time. So I can scratch one off. So I still need those two. But I am happy to get this. That's, again, just the cartridge and box. No manual. But it's in fine shape. No complaints. Still has the hang tab. That's nice. Also, this is actually one of the best shoot-em-ups I've ever played. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. Okay, now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. This is the real cool stuff. There's the dog. This is the real cool stuff. This is actually a reproduction. It's a game that was only released in the UK, I want to say, for the Genesis. And Intellivision Dude actually pointed out to me and Kefka, we were on Facebook, and it was about a guy that's doing reproductions for the Genesis. And they don't have manuals, but they are boxed, and I decided to pick one up when I got the money, and it's Mega Man The Wily Wars. This is pretty cool. It looks, if I saw this, I would say the artwork is, if I were to see this like at a store, I'd say, I wouldn't question that it's legitimate, but since I know it's a reproduction, I can kind of tell. The detail isn't the best, but on the back, the small print, you can read it. It's not blurry or anything, so it is good quality, but I can tell it's a reproduction. He doesn't do reproduction manuals, so it's just the cartridge. The cartridge, I can actually tell, is a reproduction. It's kind of like a cheaper paper. But hey, this is cool. When he shipped it to me, it was in a normal Genesis case, and if you notice, it's made by Capcom, this game, and Capcom has their own Genesis cases. So I actually went downstairs where my games are and swapped it out for a Street Fighter 2 case. Now it says Capcom in there, so it just kind of adds to its more legitimate looking. So that's very cool. I've actually played this. I gotta tell you, it's really not that great. It isn't. The slowdown when you're fighting the bosses is really bad. It's really not that much fun to play. The NES ones actually run better. The music is okay. The controls, they're sluggish, I'd say, because it takes a few seconds for you to turn around. It's not that great. I don't know if it's this particular one or if it's just how the game is. But it really isn't the best. So, so far, this is some pretty cool stuff, but these next few things, next couple things, are in a whole nother ballpark. As you know, I've been kind of collecting for the Saturn, and the Saturn is expensive to collect for. There's really no doubt about it. Anybody who wants to argue that is just wrong. It is an expensive system. But if you're patient, you can get deals. That's the thing about the Saturn that I've found. You can get good deals on expensive games. I actually got, this one's not necessarily that expensive. It usually runs about $30 or a little less. I got mine for $20 on eBay. It is a complete copy of Panzer Dragoon. It's in fair shape. I'd say good. The seller put this in here, which is cool. I like that it's in there to keep the disc. One thing I wish they mentioned is that the manual is actually, I believe it is missing. It's either missing pages or they start at page 3. I don't know. This is page 3. This is the front. I don't know. I think it is missing pages. Probably the table of contents page. So I'm after another manual. And this is cut out, the like the proof of purchase thing. So it's complete to a degree. I am looking for a Panzer Dragoon manual, but nothing urgent. But I am glad to have that. So I don't know if you saw a few weeks ago, but I did actually pick up Panzer Dragoon 2 at my local place. So I have those two. I just need Saga, and I'll have them all. And then I need the Orta is the one for the Xbox. So next is a heavy hitter, I guess you could say, on the Saturn. It's one that a lot of people always say is one of the best in the series, if not the best in the series, and it's pretty expensive, but again, if you're lucky, you can get a good deal, and I actually got a good deal on this, and it is in excellent condition. Really, actually, it blew me away when I got it, and that's Saturn Bomberman. I've played this for about, I'd say 2 hours I have total invested in it. It's a great game. So far, my favorite Bomberman is Super Bomberman 2. This is a lot like it. Excuse me. This is a lot like it. A little more advanced. I'm going to give it some more time, but it is an excellent game. I'm really happy to have it in this kind of shape. I've actually taken a foam insert from one of my Sega CD games and put it in there. Yeah, Saturn Bomberman, one of the best in the series, if not the best. I highly recommend it if you are a fan of the Saturn. So, down to the last game, and I'm kind of going to go out with a pretty big bang. This is a game here that you don't really... How do I want to say this? This is the kind of game that when you talk about people who have an excellent collection, these are the kind of games that they have. We're talking like, the Pete Doors, the big collectors on the big guys on campus, whatever you want to say. The people who really collect and are known for it. Well, I can't say I'm joining the ranks of them, but this is a huge step towards it, and I actually kind of alluded to it a little bit earlier, but to complete my collection for the Saturn, I actually got Panzer Dragoon Saga. This just came today. It's in good shape. The discs are fine. Everything's fine. The case is scratched. Not cracked, scratched. So I'm actually going to be looking for a Saturn game in mint condition, just like a cheapo, like a Madden or something. And if it's in excellent shape, I'm actually going to swap out the cases to make this like a mint copy. The back is actually in really good shape. The front is the scratch part. So here's what it comes with. It's actually a pretty unique design. It comes with 4 discs, and only one of them sits in this. Yep. Oh, the other 4, the manual fell out. The other 4 are in these little things. So that's pretty cool. And then they sit in here like that. So I thought that's a pretty cool design. One thing I want to ask: how do you spell the word disc? How do you spell it? Is it D-I-S-K or D-I-S-C? I've always seen it spelled with a C, but these Panzer Dragoon discs, they have a K on them for disc. I don't know if you can see it on the right side. I think it's kind of one of those you can spell it either way, but I just thought it was weird that this is actually, as far as I can remember, the first time I've ever seen it with a K. So, it's sort of interesting. So, yes, this is a really expensive game. I got a good deal on it. I'll go ahead and tell you what I paid. I paid $200 for it, which sounds like a lot of money to drop on a game, but it was money that I had, and I knew soon I'd be getting reimbursed through selling some stuff. So I haven't quite made all my $200 back, but I've made most of it, about 180, I'd say. So, or 160, yeah, 160 of it back. So for the price, it was $200. Actually, this video is probably at a decent length already, but I want to tell a real quick story. I was searching online and I saw one in mint condition for $200. I was like, wow, I'm probably never going to see it for this price again in this condition. So I really contemplated buying it. About an hour later, I was like, you know what? I just need a breakdown. I need to buy it. I went, and somebody had bought it. I was pretty bummed out, actually. So, you know, I felt like I missed out on a great opportunity. So I messaged a guy, so I searched again. And there was another one that didn't have any custom pictures. It was just a standard picture, but it said it was complete. And it was also for $200 or best offer. So I messaged the guy asking if I could get pictures. About an hour later, I kind of forgot about it, and I got an email saying, sure, give me your email. So I gave him my email. 5 minutes later, I had pictures of it. And I was like, wow, this looks like it's in pretty good shape. He said, you know, yeah, it was. Something weird, though, it's this game might be haunted because the original guy who owned this apparently died. The guy who was selling it, his friend's brother owned this and died. That's a little weird. So maybe this is a cursed game. I don't know. I'll let you know if some weird things start happening. But so I made him an offer of $180. And after we got to talking, I asked him straight up. I said, you know, I offered you $180. Do you think that's a fair price? He said, there's somebody else he's talking to thinking about getting it. If he doesn't message him back in about a half hour, he'll consider my offer. Once I heard that, because the game already had 4 offers, including mine, so once I heard that, I just said, you know what, I just got to buy this, because if I don't, I might miss out on 2 in one day, and I bought it. And the guy was really happy that I just paid $200 for it. He said thanks a lot, you know. He said he'd keep it, but he doesn't have a Saturn. So it actually is untested. I didn't mention that. It is an untested game, but the discs look great, so it should play. And he said if it doesn't, he'll refund me. So that's it. That is, I really think this is probably my best pickups video I've done. And to be 100% honest, I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like I'm leaving something out. I don't quite know what it is, but whatever. I ordered some more stuff. Nothing huge, but I got some cool stuff coming. So yeah, that's it for me, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little Life Force gameplay in the background. I thought I'd give you something to look at in case you didn't want to see the moneymaker. But anyway, that's going to be it for this pickups video. Let me know what you think. I think I did excellent. This is my best pickups video so far, not including that unboxing. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching and take care. Of this game, and I thought, you know, if they have it, I probably should get it because it's been getting good reviews and it could be collectible in the future. So I did get it, and they did have the misprint. I'm not sure if you can see that, but Revelations is spelled wrong. You can see the I is before the T instead of after. So maybe one day this will be collectible, and it already is. I'm guessing. But that's something cool. And the game's pretty good too. It's not a bad game at all. And if I can ever top it, I'll be surprised. If some of you might remember, a few months ago, I think back in like September or something, I had that most epic unboxing ever, almost, or possibly the most epic unboxing. That probably beats what I have here, but not by much. And that was just the sheer quantity and the quality. This isn't a ton of stuff, but the quality is through the roof. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. And we'll start with I'll start with the most current, actually. I got a 3DS game. I went ahead and picked up Resident Evil Revelations. Now, I didn't really plan on getting this. I'm not much of a fan of Resident Evil. I don't dislike it or anything, but I just am not a big fan. But I heard about the misprint label. Alright, so let's go ahead and start with the NES stuff. I got some pretty cool stuff. I actually have 2 games for trade, or sale, whatever. And I'll save those for last. But I actually picked up 2 rather uncommon NES games that, one of them, this one here, people probably wouldn't even know that it's uncommon. It's the Terminator on the NES. It is uncommon. It's not rare or anything like that, but it is rather uncommon, and my local place had it for $3. Hey guys, Cobra DVS here, and this is a pickups video. I've kind of been wanting to do for a long time, but I just got the final piece of the puzzle today, so I had to wait till today. I'm not even exaggerating when I say this is probably the best pickups video I've ever done.